307 yards, 4 touchdowns, super efficient. We know what he can do as a mobile quarterback, but I'm loving the growth that I'm seeing from Bo Nix working from within the pocket. Sean Payton had a great game dialed up against Atlanta. Atlanta did not have any positive success against Bo Nix. Look at these numbers. 4 for 4 in the red zone. I talked about having 300 yards through the air for Bo Nix. Offensively, 400 yards total. They had 22 first downs in this matchup compared to 13 by the Atlanta Falcons. They were playing high-level ball offensively for the Broncos. And lo and behold, luckily they took their foot off the gas because they probably could have put up close to 50 points if they kept their foot on the gas, but finished with 38, which is a huge game.
Massive game, massive moment. Denver's defense also showing up the fewest points allowed in a game since a shutout against the Jets in 2021. Just 6 points allowed in this matchup. You said the word growth, and that's the word we've been using when talking about Bo Nix because of how he was onboarded here, what the playbook looked like in week 1 and what it looks like now. At what point do we take that conversation of growth and start heralding this as a quarterback that you can move forward and win with? I know it's too early to write off any of these quarterbacks. It's too early to crown any of them as well. But this is a young man who's taking these opportunities and just building one on top of the other. When do we talk about this as, okay, they got the guy?
Right now.
The guy.
You know, we kind of flirted with the idea that they had the guy when he earned the job during preseason, but he's earned the right to be called the guy. And when you look at this quarterback class of high-level players that we, applauded for their efforts, when you look at where Bo Nix was drafted, of course, with J.J. McCarthy not playing a meaningful snap because of an injury, he's kind of outperformed his peers. Now, granted, Michael Penix is sitting behind Kirk Cousins, but when you look at the other players that have performed as a rookie, Bo Nix is right there with the cream of the crop, who has been Jaden Daniels, in my opinion. And most importantly, guys, it's one thing to put forth great numbers as an individual, but it's another thing when those numbers resonates to wins.
Yeah, when that equals team success.
Equal team success. They're currently 6-5. The next 3 games they have coming up: the Raiders, the Browns, and the Colts. Winnable games, especially when you look at their defense. And if the Chargers have a slip-up or two, they can be right there with the Chargers. Of course, everyone is chasing the Kansas City Chiefs in their division, and we don't see a huge slip-up coming from the Chiefs. But you still have an opportunity, if you're Denver Broncos, to finish best-case scenario number 2 in your division, and that should warrant a playoff spot.
Yeah, now.
All right, let's talk about this. I mean, are you seeing this before? Bo Nix essentially just had one of the best performances by a rookie quarterback. Okay? 300-plus passing yards, 4 passing touchdowns, 0 interceptions in a game. C.J. Stroud, 2023. Bo Nix, 2024. 2019. I mean, this was one of the all-time best rookie performances. That's pretty remarkable. Considering, and I understand, right, we see Daniel Jones did it, Marcus Mariota, C.J. Stroud. Doesn't take it away from anything, quite frankly, because when you look at how the Atlanta Falcons have been playing, they've been a little inconsistent, no doubt, but Bo Nix did better. And this isn't a perfect comparison. I do confess that, but Bo Nix did better than any other quarterback who faced the Atlanta Falcons. Better than Mahomes. Mahomes had 217 passing yards and 87 rating. Did better than Dak, Baker, Carr, Geno, Hurts. I mean, Bo Nix was 28 for 33, 370 yards, 9.3 yards per attempt, 4 touchdowns, and a 145 rating. I mean, it's like, what are we talking about here, man? And massive chunk plays. 23, 33, 41, 37, 15. I mean, each individual wide receiver that he threw to. I mean, he threw to 10 different receivers, and to 5 different receivers had 15 or more, right? In terms of a chunk play. So it wasn't just one receiver just kept feasting and beefing up all these numbers. This was everyone involved. And when you get a big win like this, 38-6, and you get all these receivers involved, I can't tell you enough. That goes such a long way. That goes such a long way to get all these guys involved. Everyone feels that they're part of the party, right? Everyone wants to feel that they're connected to this party. And so coming off of a tough loss against, obviously, the Kansas City Chiefs, who, don't worry, the Buffalo Bills already took that for you. They already got redemption for you. But people were acting like that was going to bring down the Denver Broncos, that tough loss. And Nick Wright was like, I'm concerned this is going to have some sort of hangover effect. And I was like, no way, it's not going to have a hangover effect. And then people in the comments were like, you have no idea what you're talking about. Well, this is exactly what I thought was going to happen. So, yeah. This is a Sean Payton-led team. For some reason, people think Sean Payton's not a good coach. And it's just like, I don't know what to say, man, to that anymore. I really don't. And Bo Nix has arrived. He already arrived. When they said, "Oh, when can we say that Bo Nix is like a legit quarterback and all that?" Last game against the Chiefs, that was his true coming out party. That was his arrival. I know they lost, but the amount of trust and confidence that Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos showed in Bo Nix in huge moments against the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs at that time, undefeated Kansas City Chiefs at that time. On the road, divisional game, crowd going insane, and Bo Nix passed with flying colors. He arrived. We see quarterbacks fail and struggle, seasoned veterans struggle in that environment. And now you have another bounce back game like this. Not like Bo Nix individually needed a bounce back game, but just to be able to bounce back from a very tough loss and win convincingly. I mean, it's huge. 4 for 4 in the red zone. I had 22 first downs. I don't know. He said 23, I think, in the broadcast. The box score, I use ESPN for the box score, so, who am I to debate that? And Atlanta had 13. 6 for 11 on third downs. 400 total yards to the Atlanta Falcons, 226. I mean, honestly, like, I can point out, like, individual plays and individual moments, but Bo Nix just was balling, a playmaker, moving around so smoothly, out of the pocket making throws, in the pocket making throws. I mean, it was just it was as perfect of a game as you get. And then the defense showed up, and everyone did their job. Really, this was like a perfect example of do your job, right? It's like at the end of that game, you can literally, the coaches can be like, do you see what happens when you do your job? When everyone does your job, this is what happens. Do your job and we win. Do your job and we win big. Like that's what a perfect example of this game is, right? Do your job. Big punt returns, right? It's like all the little things, all the big things. This is a complete 360-degree game. And when they're talking about the Chiefs, slipping, the Chiefs lost to the Bills. And it is a shame that the Broncos weren't able to pull off another win against them, because now you're like, well, hey, the Chiefs could have 2 losses and the division could technically still be in play. And it's still it's a long shot. No doubt the Kansas City Chiefs are in the driver's seat. But the Chargers absolutely, positively can beat the Chiefs. The Broncos absolutely, positively can beat the Chiefs. That's 2 losses potentially right there. That puts them at 3 losses. Again, it's tough. No doubt about it. I'm not, like the Broncos or the Chargers or whoever is going to have to go on a tear. And you're going to have a little luck, because the Chiefs would have to drop some other game. And then I don't know how the tiebreaker would work at that point. So it's probably not where you're looking at in terms of, if you're a Denver Broncos fan, in terms of like what's the trajectory of this team and what can we achieve and what's our best path to the playoffs and on all of that. But I mean, this is already showing you that the Denver Broncos are ahead of schedule. Bo Nix, I think right now it's close. I think it's completely tied. In terms of Rookie of the Year between Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels. I think Jaden started off hot, and now he's cooling off and got a little banged up. Bo Nix started off slow, and obviously now he's hot. So if he continues this trajectory, it's Bo Nix's Offensive Rookie of the Year, without a doubt. Jaden Daniels has to bounce back. If Bo Nix just kind of maintains where he's at, especially if he pulls off a win against the Kansas City Chiefs and he plays well, right? They win because of him, not in spite of him. I mean, like, that'll probably just be game, set, match for Rookie of the Year, quite frankly. So, really, really exciting stuff. Big time win for the Denver Broncos. A convincing win. Like I said, the Falcons have definitely been a little inconsistent. So if you're a Broncos fan and you haven't watched a lot of Atlanta games, like, they've definitely been a little inconsistent, but they are definitely a good team, right? They're not a bottom of the barrel, like, this is just a bad team, who cares? Yeah, you beat up on a bad team. That's not what this is. Right? Like, this is a legitimate win. You can't explain away like they tried to do previously with some Bo Nix moments. Oh, well, look at this defense. Look at this. Look at that. No. Bo Nix and Denver Broncos did better offensively against this team. And I guess probably defensively. I didn't look at it that deeply because I just wanted to get this out quickly. But better, like I said, better than Mahomes, better than Dak, better than Baker, better than Carr. Like this was an awesome, complete win. And that momentum should, I mean, like he went off those next 3 games that they have. They can absolutely rip off those wins. Absolutely. And again, if you are a legitimate contender, like a playoff team, well, like then those are wins to get. And if you can actually go toe to toe with the Chiefs, well, you're home, go beat the Chiefs, right? Like it's all there. It's absolutely all there for the Broncos. So pretty exciting for Broncos fans. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.